Welcome to Card Shop Therapy. I'm Elias with BulbaCards. Today I want to discuss the Pokemon reprints that are supposedly coming and how they will affect your favorite card stores. So Pokéné recently did a video reacting to Team Rocket Joey, and I wanted to add a little context to that. Let's take a look at what Pokéné had to say, and I want to add some context I think a lot of people are missing. So this video is specifically about how when the reprints occur, how it's going to demolish a ton of businesses, a ton of Pokemon card shops. So let's hop in and see what he has to say.
That's going to be funny. It's going to be extremely funny once the internet realizes that the Team Rocket cosplayer...
He's absolutely correct. So the premise of this video is reprints confirmed, everything's going to go to 0, which, is obviously hyperbolic, but at some point things will settle down, and I've talked about this many times. And
now, real quick, add to that, there's no confirmation yet that there is reprints coming, okay? So those are just rumors. Distro has not said reprints are coming. Remember, a few months ago, Pokemon said they're reprinting tons of sets, and they're gonna go back and do all the sets. It still hasn't happened, okay? Or it did, but they were extremely small, okay? So people have taken this news and took it to mean what they're going to do what they did during the Sword and Shield, where they just dumped loads of booster boxes, which crashed the market. There is no guaranteed word from Distro that's happening. It's just Pokemon saying they are reprinting sets.
I don't know if people don't believe me or people just aren't interested, but everything he said is exactly spot on.
Just me, or does he look like Wolverine today?
Correct, and the easy tendies are no longer available. All of these new businesses that have come out over the past year and a half to 2, they are going to crumble. Absolutely crumble. And I'm talking about all the car dealerships that have Pokemon cards now too. The amount of just random businesses, gas stations, all sorts of businesses that carry Pokemon cards, they are going to lose their distribution and never get it back. And
this is one thing I don't like. I hear a lot of people talk about. He's specifically talking about there's a car shop dealership that sells Pokemon. These gas stations. That isn't new. That's always been a thing. So I highly doubt the car dealership was able to get Pokemon products from Distro after the boom happened. So it wasn't like the craziness occurred, then they had it. I'm sure he probably already had Distro before that, right? For instance, I own a gym. We sell Pokemon cards at the gym. I've done that for 8 years, okay? So I was doing that when supply was easily available, and I specifically did it for the kids at my gym. That's the only reason I opened as a card shop. Yes, I have an entire business, an entire online card shop. So just because I sell it in one store doesn't mean it's specifically for that. So that guy who runs that car dealership and sells Pokemon there, he probably didn't get it just for the car dealership. He probably already had it. So I've never really liked that argument when people dog on people who have other businesses. People can have multiple businesses and try and mix it together a little bit to be unique. And for the gas station thing, when I was 8 years old, I used to walk blocks to what we had a Casey's gas station. I would buy Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon from there. They had booster boxes opened at the counter. So this isn't anything new. This isn't them trying to cash in. Yes, I get people are upset they can't find it at their local card shop when these things are getting them. But here's the thing. A lot of local card shops are the ones who supplies it to these gas stations. The gas stations usually don't have distribution access. That's one reason you tend to see the price a little higher there, because something I did when I was in Illinois when prices were wholesale, I would walk up to Distro with a booster box like this, and just be like, hey, I have this stuff, I can bring it in, and you guys can sell it for $4 a pack, right? Which was MSRP at the time. Meanwhile, online, I can't even get wholesale costs for it. They're like, sure, I'll get a booster box, right? And they'll give you some money for it, right? You give it to them at a discounted rate. It was a way of moving product. So that's been a thing that's always happened. So gas stations probably aren't getting distro access. They're probably just getting the product from somewhere else, okay? So when people keep saying it's gas station's fault, it's hardware stores' fault, I think more what's happened is they've always done it, but Pokemon is so popular right now. The people who have been doing it, they've just been, showing videos of it. But they've been trying to get some of that popularity to help improve their other businesses.
I get evolution in. And just because they wanted to move them doesn't mean they're giving me a good deal. They're still charging me $50. But
he's talking about his distributor sending him product for market price, which is pretty typical right now.
the offer was out there. My rep said, hey, Colin, do you want to take some of these off of our hands? Yep, I do. Please send them to me so that next time he asks, there might be something really good. And those tins actually were really good. They had 3 Destined Rivals packs in them. I'm happy to carry Destined Rivals.
Yeah.
But that's the whole goal. Like, say yes. Say yes. Try and find a way to pay that part of the card off. Try and find a way to make a little bit of profit. Go to card shows and make a bunch of profit, and then keep breaking even again, and then get a big allocation of Mega Evolution, and then make some profit there, and then put all of that profit back in so that I can break even and break even and break even, and hopefully my allocation for Phantasmal Flames is bigger again. Exactly Pokéné's strategy. The only difference is I haven't actually...
I'm flattered, Colin. Thank you. So what Colin is talking about is the game of taking anything the distribution company offers you, because if you treat them well, they'll treat you well. Colin is going to be somebody who is A-okay when the market shifts, because Colin understands the game. We're going to talk more about him in the Poké office in a minute, but...
So what he's talking about in the game aspect is, basically, you're on an allocation system. You have to sell to get more products, right? The distro wants to support the stores that help them move bad product, right? People look at this as a bad thing. I think it's a good thing and a smart thing. Imagine, Daddy Moneybags comes in with millions of dollars. He's like, oh, just give me all the good stuff that I can quadruple my money. All those Steam decks, you keep them. Give them to BulbaCards, right? That's not great. So the game is essentially you take as much as you possibly can, especially starting off. You take all the crappy things in hopes of getting the good things later. And you will. It always happens. But you have to be willing to play the game. And that weeds out a lot of these stores that thin out the market. So people who get upset when they hear that, it's actually a good thing. Because the stores who won't be around, who are just trying to make the quick buck, they won't even get going. So I actually think that's kind of a good thing.
Team Rocket Dry, what he's saying is a lot of people don't understand the game. Most of the people that have received distribution access in the past 2 years, they actually suck at business. They have no idea what they're doing, as he stated very eloquently. They have not an ounce of business acumen in them. They don't hold on to capital, and their website sucks. Also, they probably do rip and ships, which for the most part are going to die one day unless you are one of the big dogs, or you will just get sick of it, because as someone that used to distribution is going to get a ton of stuff from Pokemon once Pokemon gets their printing situation straightened out. They are going to force distribution to take this product, and distribution is going to go, oh no, we have to spend, X amount of million on cards. We need to move this as well. Distribution is going to force that upon the vendors. That's the me's and my competitors. And if we can't move that product, we are cooked. So let me explain how it works a little bit more. We don't just get product thrown at us necessarily. We order it, and they decide how much of our order they're going to fulfill. So for Mega Evolutions and for Destined Rivals, I ordered $750,000 of it. Now I got a very small fraction of the $750K that I ordered, but let's say I didn't. Let's say distribution recently got $10 million of Destined Rivals from Pokemon Company, and they see my order for $750K. I committed to that, and at that point, they send me $750K whether I want it or not. So you might be wondering, well, Brian, why wouldn't you want $750,000 in Destined Rivals? That's easy money. Well, here's why. Because when Journey Together came out, pre-orders for Destined Rivals opened up. You pre-order a set about a month and a half before it comes out. Like, for example, I pre-ordered Phantasmal Flames weeks ago. So what's going to happen at some point is we're going to put pre-orders in and we're going to get cocky. I'm going to order $750,000 of ME6 because ME5 was super hot. And there's a chance that Pokemon is like, oh, by the way, distributors, yeah, we figured our printing out and we have a gajillion of these. Here you go. And distribution is going to look at my invoice and go, oh, cool, you ordered $750,000 worth. Brian, where's your money at? Invoice. And for the record, I'm doing quite well, but I don't really have like $1 million in cash laying around at any given time. So I would need to start selling pre-orders. That's why people used to do pre-orders, because they'd order more stuff than they could actually afford. Now, if for whatever reason I couldn't do pre-orders, I'd have to, panic sell once I get them. And that's ultimately how the market starts dropping. Now, that's best case scenario. That's assuming I can either, do enough pre-orders to afford my invoice, or be confident enough that I could panic sell enough to pay the invoice off. What's going to happen to most people who do.
All right, so that's the important thing I wanted to get to here, is what he's talking about right there. So when they're talking about these businesses failing, they're not going to be used to it when the market's down and now they got to sell things for cheap. This is what I believe will destroy those small businesses, right? Those new people into the Pokemon card shop hobby. Pokemon card shop hobby. Pokemon hobby who are shops. And it's they over-ordered. So where he said distro will force the product onto you, and then he corrected it. He's right. But they're not just, like, if I don't order anything, my rep is going to call me and be like, hey, Bulba, take this or we're canceling your deals, right? It's I ordered it, okay? We've talked about this in past videos. That is, if you order it, distro will eventually get enough Pokemon to fulfill it. And if you ordered it, you have to take it. So they said the distro ordered a certain amount of product. They'll only order that amount of product based off of what the stores told them they wanted. So they're just fulfilling what stores requested, okay? Think about that. So if they actually get that product, well, the distro doesn't want to sit on the product because they didn't want it. The stores wanted it. So of course they require the store to take it. The store's like, well, actually I don't want. The distro's now like, hey, you're costing us a ton of money because now we got to sit on this product. You're not reliable on making orders, so we're not allowing you to anymore. Now, real quick, a lot of people make it sound like they will just stop you from being a card shop. That's not necessarily true. From what I've gathered from my distro, which Pokéné has the same one, Southern Hobby, what they do is they will prevent you from making pre-orders, okay? So if there's something on the website just sitting there, they'll let you grab it. But when they go to do an order for a new set and let you, pre-reserve that, they won't allow you to, okay? So you can still grab random product on the site, but you can't make pre-orders. So that's what he's talking about. And that's the thing that hurts newer card shops more than anything, is they get on there and they're like, man, I'm gonna max this out, right? We all heard this. You heard me talk about it in past videos, which is you hear someone on YouTube or Instagram say, I'm only getting 1% of what I ordered. It's because they never built up their numbers. And now what's happened is the market, those reprints will coming, the market's gonna start going down because, like Pokéné said, people are gonna try and fire sell and get rid of it, and they'll panic. And now that guy who only got 1% of his orders, he's going to get that other 99% of the stuff. He's not going to be able to afford it. Because here's the thing. He can't just like, hey, Southern, send me the product, I'll sell it, and then I'll pay you. You have to pay it up front. So that's the thing that's going to hurt these card shops more than anything. And that's why I've said time and time again, Pokemon has to do a reprint large enough to flush out the market, and it has to be all at once. When Pokemon's been doing these small releases here and there, that doesn't really help. You got to basically drown it out. You got to smother it, right? Water is a great way to put out fire, but if you just take one cup at a time, that fire builds back up. It has to just be doused all at once, okay? So I just kind of wanted to add to what Pokéné was saying there and basically say the reason the card shops will struggle and start closing isn't because distros won't force it on them, isn't necessarily because they're bad at business. It's simply they ordered it, they requested it, and it's going to be dumped on the market. Because the way it works, us stores tell distro how much we want. Distro will take all those pre-order numbers, not how much distro thinks they'll get. They'll take all the numbers people ordered and they'll tell Pokemon, I want that amount. Okay? Pokemon will go, we can do 1/10 of that. And then the distro gets those numbers and they split it up between those stores. But when Pokemon is at a time like this where they're like, okay, hey, there's demand. Well, distro said they wanted that amount. They're going to try and print to that. And this is why the Pokemon market is constantly up, down, up, down, up, down. It's never stable. Because it's not a flat amount distro gets, not a flat amount Pokemon gets. Stores tell distribution what they want. Distribution tells Pokemon, Pokemon prints it. Okay? So, if you got stores over-ordering, distro's going to over-order, and Pokemon can't meet that, Pokemon's most likely going to do a reprint, which crashes the market. When the market crashes, stores don't order as much, distro stops ordering as much. Now, Pokemon's not going to print as much because they're like, well, no one wants it, so they cut printing, right? And then stores are like, oh, hey, product is rare and scarce. Let me order a crap ton again. They over-order. Distro over-orders. Pokemon can't meet it, so they do reprints later. That's the flow of Pokemon. So I hope that gives you a little context of why we see the market go up and down. And also, if you're a card shop, stop over-ordering. I want you as a business to survive because the more card shops there are who are successful, the more people there are who can get into the hobby. Okay? So, if you like this video, comment down below, subscribe, and we also got a video coming up soon about the actual Pokemon printing cycle of 2026. So, we have some big news on that, some good news, and some not so great news. So, subscribe, and we will see you guys next time here at BulbaCards.